All right, keep texting, keep WhatsApping. The number is 087 188 0008. And our guests for tonight are perfect for the night that's in it. Richard and Anthony are the founders of Paranormal Supernatural Investigations Ireland, or PSII. Is it PSI or PS2? It's II. II. It's like investigators investigating. Anyway, it was set up in February 2019 because of the large number of Irish people who believe in ghosts. And Ireland is a hub of supernatural stuff, according to people around the world, because people travel here from all over the world. They travel to Ireland for Halloween night because we have so many old buildings, so many historical castles and buildings, and we've been to many of them and done some of our Halloween shows from there. And they've been amazing and great fun, by the way, apart from anything else. They receive messages from people all around Ireland about possible sightings of ghosts or incidents of suspected paranormal activity. They then go and investigate it. And they have travelled all around the country and shared their findings on social media, where they now have a large following, and they're on the line to talk to us. Lads, Richard and Anthony, hi, how are you?
How you doing, Niall? Thanks for having us on your show. It's Richard speaking.
Hi, Niall, it's Anthony here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. So, lads, you're like kind of Ghostbusters, so to speak. Is that really what this is about? I mean, do you have electronic equipment, or how does it all work?
Yeah, well, Niall, we're not Ghostbusters, but we're actually paranormal researchers, and we do have electronic equipment which act like tools to help us in the work that we do. They're guiding tools, and they give us a direction of where we need to focus our attention on.
Okay, as I mentioned already, Ireland is a hub of activity, I suppose, for people who believe in ghosts, because we have so many old buildings in this country. We have some of the oldest buildings in the world in this country. That's why so many people come here for Halloween. So you get a call from somebody who says, listen, I hear bumps in the night. So what happens then, Anthony? What do you do then when you get that call?
Well, when we get this call, it's we first of all we look for the area that this incident is happening in, and we do a bit of research, try to find out what's happened in the area. Is there any historical facts to back up what they're saying? And when we gather the information then that we need, then we go to the area.
Okay.
And we use the tools that we have, and we investigate and then see, can we capture anything in relation to what had happened in the past historically and what they're telling us in the present. And so that's basically the way we work.
And Richard, what are those tools? I mean, are we allowed, or is that a trade secret? What are the tools?
Oh yeah, no, well, I can give you a few tools off the cuff that we use. We use a Phasmatron GD2000, which was designed for us by a physics engineer who has a belief in paranormal, but yet will not put his name or put his face behind this, because he wants to help us in the line of work that we do, and that part of that one equipment has helped us. That's one of our main parts of our equipment.
And what does that do? Pick up electronic activity, or what is it?
It measures electromagnetic energy. It's a very you know yourself. I mean, us as humans, we create energy, and we believe that when that person or any individual passes on, they leave a spiritual footprint in this world, and basically it's called residual energy, and your energy is still left. You leave like a stamp on this world, and this equipment that we have, this gadget, I should say, basically will give us a direction that there's a strong magnetic force here, and we'll then take another equipment which is SLS camera, structured light sensor camera, and that again will create an image. If there's any energy in that area, it'll come through as like a stick man, just like a stick man. Again, people might think we're crazy what we do now, but it's given us results at the end of the day. And well, after we see an image on the SLS camera, we will then get the camera, and you have to remember now, over 100 years ago, they were doing spirit photography, I should say. Even back then, they know that there was ghosts or spirits, and they were using cameras to try to capture these images. And I think now we're 100 years ahead of ourselves. We've got stronger technology than what they had back then, and we're actually able to provide these results.
Why has nobody got a proper image of a ghost, or somebody who, it doesn't have to be a ghost, as I suppose typically when we think of a ghost, we think of something that's transparent, kind of whitish and transparent, right? But I suppose that may not be the case. It may be just the physical being of a person, that's dead. or passed away. So why do we not have some sort of evidence or proof? It's always kind of shady looking pictures, or orbs, as people call them, which are these little balls of light. Is that what you kind of pick up, the kind of orbs sometimes, or have you got any images of an actual ghost?
We don't get an awful lot of orbs, Niall, to be quite honest with you. Because in a lot of cases, orbs we found they turn out to be maybe a moth that flew by, or maybe a light reflection off the lens.
Off the lens, lens flare, as they call it. Yeah,
lens flare. Yeah, in the photography world, they call it lens flare. So we don't really go down that road. What we do is we take we've tens of thousands of photographs taken over the last number of years, and we could take probably maybe 300 or 400, 500 or 600 on an investigation, between 5 or 6 of us on a night, and we would go through those pictures after being guided by the Phasmatron GD2000, which is Ghost Detector 2000, and K2 and EMF readers, and we've captured images. Now, the images won't be as clear as what the person looks like in real life, because they're trying to drain energy to manifest. And when they manifest, it will resemble them in somewhat. You look for main features like nose, chin, forehead, etc. And when you have that, then you can say, well, we may possibly captured this person's likeness trying to manifest itself using the energy that it can drain from elements around it. But if you're looking for, we'd say, what you see in Hollywood, where this ghost walks through a wall fully clothed and 16th century garb, and you're not going to get that.
No, this I suppose what people think, what they're going to see, but that's not realistically what they're going to see.
No, and not some guy holding his head under his arm either that was decapitated.
Right. Or a headless horseman or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the movie stuff.
We capture, we recently captured, I don't know if you've seen the Late Show the last night, we were trying to explain about the picture of Edward Carson. You didn't see that, did you?
No, I didn't actually, no.
We went to a house called Castle Ellen House, and we were told that there was a story of the master of the house, Peter Lambert, had died in Tuam, and the servants in the house saw the master coming up the driveway, so they started the fires and getting everything ready, as you do, and there was no knock on the door.
Okay.
After 10 minutes, they figured he was out in the shed or with the horses or something, but they checked the grounds, no sign of him anywhere. So they figured out the person that saw him must have been on maybe tipping a bit of the old sherry or something, we don't know.
Yeah.
But it turns out that 3 or 4 hours later, word came that he had died and choked on a piece of meat in Tuam.
Yeah.
County Galway.
Right.
So then the carriage arrived at the gates of the castle, pulled by the horses, and the horses wouldn't cross the gate. They wouldn't cross it, so they had to carry the coffin with the box. No, it wasn't a casket. He was just in a box.
Yeah.
So they had to carry that box the whole length of the driveway up into the castle. And it was then that the servants realised, well, hold on, he's in a box here. Did we not see him several hours ago walking up the driveway?
Right.
We got word of that story, that ghost story, and we went out to investigate, and we had mediums with us on the night, and we had all our equipment, and the K2s were going off, and the EMS, everything was given signals that there was something close by, and the medium said, I think there's something up in the attic. So go up into the attic. So I went up into the attic with the camera, and I took several photographs, came back down, and we immediately checked them, and there was this image of a face looking out through the rafters. And we thought it was Peter Lambert. But it didn't look like him, so we figured, okay, we assumed it was him. And further investigation, 2 years later, we were looking at a guy called Edward Carson, the unionist, the guy that prosecuted Oscar Wilde in a homosexuality case,
Okay.
The Marquess of Queensberry's son. And it very closely resembled him with the nose, the underbite of the chin, and the receding foreline. And the two photographs are quite similar. Now, it's not exactly like him, but when an entity is trying to manifest itself, I mean, it doesn't exactly look like what it did. This is what we found anyway. But it was a close enough resemblance, and so much of a likeness that we had to say it was Edward Carson we captured. And he was the son of Isabella Lambert. So Walter Peter Lambert would have been his uncle, and he spent a lot of his summer holidays down in Castleellan.
The history, you know what's interesting, sorry, as you're explaining it, apart from the ghost aspects of it, the history of it all, because of course you get to look into the history and all that kind of stuff as well to find out a bit more. It's intriguing to listen to even.
It is, yeah. It's very intriguing to listen to that.
Yeah.
And the paranormal part of this is, I took the photograph, and the guy, when Edward Carson prosecuted Oscar Wilde, they were great friends in Trinity College. He tried to intercede afterwards and get the case squashed, but he couldn't, and then we know what happened to Oscar Wilde after that.
Of course, yeah.
But what happened was he had an affair with the Marquis of Queensberry's son, and his name is Lord Alfred Douglas, and my name is Anthony Douglas, and I caught the picture.
Right.
So I don't know if this guy trying to manifest himself to me with, say, a distant relation, on the same type of a clan, to make himself known and maybe apologize or make some sort of a statement to me or to us as a group that he had wronged Oscar Wilde. So, that's the way we'd be thinking of things like that,
Yeah,
in the paranormal and supernatural world.
I think I'm looking at the picture here. I just spotted it here from I think it was the Irish Mirror. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
And
That was a couple of years back here now.
Ghost hunters find proof of 19th century man in mirror spirit haunting Irish castle. Is that the story? Yeah.
We didn't mention it was Edward Carson back then. You see, Niall, and that's the line
right,
of work that we just assumed that. Castleellan House.
Castleellan House.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the picture. It does look like a person's face. In fairness,
Well, and being fairness now, we were on the Late Late Show, and we were on very brief. Our time was cut short because obviously there were guests that went on a little bit longer. We should have been on little longer than what we should have been.
Typical.
And it was a live show, in fairness, and we were told that we weren't not going to get a chance to go on, Niall, but look, we got on. But in fairness, Patrick Kelty, even Business Focus and all, he could even say, he himself said, "I see the face." Exact words, "I see the face."
Yeah, I can see the face. Now, don't get me wrong. It could also, and I'm sorry, I am a cynic. I'm at the best of times, I'm a cynic, and that's always a good place to start.
It's healthy. Here, do you know what? It's absolutely healthy to be like that. You need to be cynic.
Part of me is saying, yes, absolutely, it's a face. Another part of me is saying, it could be brickwork.
It's not brickwork. Can you Google Edward Carson there and get one of his old black and white pictures, and you'll see there is a resemblance to him.
Okay, Edward Carson. I'm gonna Google that here.
Google that there.
Oh, I can see. Oh, yeah. Right, you're right with the underbite, by the way, and very absolutely, and very definitive nose. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, that's very strange that we find now that actual image does.
Even the eyes, by the way, the eyes look similar too.
Yeah, the whole feature of the face, the physics of the face looks similar.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we have to assume that was him trying to manifest himself to us using whatever energy he could manifest himself.
Okay, where are the?
Niall.
Yeah, sorry.
Niall, sorry, I just wanted. I mean, I know you were
Richard,
saying there's good. I know you were saying there's good history behind it, but as I was trying to, I explained we explained to everybody that we focus on folklore, mythology, history, and paranormal. We believe that we're nothing like what you see in Hollywood, running out and going, oh, there's, do you ever notice, like in TV programs, it's a ghost that happened just 20 years ago, or someone died 20 years ago. We live in a country, and I'm always saying this, we live in a country that's absolutely enshrined with tragic events, over the hundreds and hundreds of years. And it's only a small country. Niall, we're a small country.
Oh yeah, we've had a tough time in this country, with other countries thinking they own us. So we've had a tough time of it, yeah.
Yeah, true now. And so, we're absolutely saturated with it, and as paranormal investigators, and the way we have a complete different direction, the way we look at it. We really strongly focus on the history, and when you have the history there, you look at old folklore books, for example. there's stories there that you look at and people go, it's only an old, like, it's just a story, kid story, whatever. But there's somebody that doesn't just think about that. Something happened to that person or whatever. I know as the years go by, the stories kind of get diluted. But you always have to go back to their root and think something happened to that person to go out of their way to make that comment or statement, to write about that. So that's, and we're now at an era, as I said, we haven't even scratched the surface come in regards to technology. I mean, even your own phone in your, in your pocket or your hand now. I mean, if you're, as I explained about spare photography, well, we're near to getting images of people, of beings, I should say. And Niall, as I said, people say, oh, why are they always in the world? We do believe too that, how come some people are here and some people aren't? I believe that souls, their images that were captured, spirits, they're trapped within this world. They're trapped. They're souls that can't move on.
Okay, and by the way, have you ever investigated the obvious places, lads? Where, okay, you've got the top places in the country, like the Hellfire Club, St. Mickens Church, Leap Castle, Kilmainham Jail, or Gaol, as it's better known. And all those, we did a show on one Halloween night live from Wicklow Jail. And I have to say, it was, now look, again, I'm cynical, but it was extremely entertaining because there were noises. We had a Ouija board and a psychic and everything else and all that kind of stuff there too. But it was entertaining apart from anything else. But there was definitely noises and bits and pieces that shouldn't have been there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we've investigated Wicklow Gaol, we've investigated Leap Castle, and we investigated Hellfire Club. I can tell you on Wicklow Gaol, we were there on the night, but that's, again, I'm not saying. You see, this is another thing. We assume because of a location that is supposed, haunted, we're going to get results on the night. That's not the case, Niall. It's like fishing. You go out fishing, you're not going to guarantee to come back with a 20-pound salmon. That's the way it goes. So we went to Wicklow Gaol. Unfortunately, for our sake, we didn't get nothing. I mean, it's unfortunate we didn't get nothing, I should say. We got no results whatsoever. But again, we could feel the energy within Wicklow Gaol. There definitely is energy there, residual energy. But
what about Loftus Hall? Have you ever been down to Loftus Hall?
No. To be quite honest,
Loftus Hall is the most amazing place. I mentioned it earlier on to the lads earlier on. It's the most amazing place. And we went down to do a show there again live, but unfortunately, we had a bit of a falling out, a misunderstanding with the owner of the place at the time, so we ended up packing up and going. He wasn't
kind of like ourselves now.
Yeah. So we'd love to go back and do it again, because we had all the stuff ready. We had all the microphones, and we have special, what they call parabolic microphones and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we had done this a few times, these Halloween shows. But Loftus Hall is one of those places you would expect to see in a Hollywood movie for a haunted house. It is just an amazing place. It's got this huge, big Titanic type stairway that goes up into all these. Yeah, it's just astonishing. It's very old, very traditional. The rooms are big, tall rooms and empty, and it's creepy. It really is creepy.
We were asked to do Loftus Hall before it closed, and we would have done it only for the fact that we found that it was very commercialized. They had haunted tours and people jumping out behind walls and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's to make money. They have to make money somewhere.
Yeah, I know. They got a Francis Brennan, they got to make money somewhere.
Yeah.
So we decided, no, we couldn't go up and do that because if we put it up on the page, people would say, oh, was that not one of the actors down there, etc., etc. So we gave it a miss, and then COVID, lockdown hit, and things took its course, and we just didn't get back into it again, I believe it's opened up again now, hasn't it?
I think the owner was a guy called Aidan Quigley. He sold it on now to, I think it's Oakmount Properties, who are currently, now I think it's currently closed at the moment, but they're allegedly turning it into a luxury hotel, I believe.
Yeah, we go back then.
And what about...
and it'll be closed after we come out of it.
What about St. Mickens Church? Have you been down there?
No, is that where in Dublin?
Yeah, where the mummies are.
The mummies are on. Yeah,
we didn't make that.
Didn't make that one, Niall. That's someplace we would love. We always. See, that's it, Niall. We live in such a small country, and there's so much places, locations to go. That's a place I'd love to see. I see it all the time, and we keep saying we've got to get round to doing it. That's the place I'd love to go.
It's on the bucket list now.
Yeah, and by the way, do people, when you're going to a place, to investigate something, is it important when you look at the history to find out people have actually died there? Because if nobody's actually died there, there's probably not going to be any spirits, is there?
we prefer a place to have a history.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, well, and if it looks nice, and maybe somebody has a little story of something or other, we'll go along and we'll try and bonify it, you know.
Yeah.
But what we found is, in a lot of these castles or all these old houses, they're usually built on top of a settlement gone as far back as the Neolithic times, and built on ley lines and that kind of stuff. And we find that in areas like that, there a very high percentage of paranormal activity, energy, say, running through that area. So we love them places. We thrive in them. We go there. And we genuinely, most of the time, catch stuff there, capture images, etc. You know.
And have you ever been scared? Like, as I can tell you, when I watch these horror movies, when a family moves into a house and the first thing they hear when they walk in the door is "Get out!" I'd be gone. You wouldn't, and I don't even believe in ghosts. I'd be just, you're all right, lads. You can keep the house. Have you ever been scared yourselves? Because obviously you're doing this for a living. Have you ever been scared?
Yeah,
in Castle. We got
yeah, okay. Well, generally, to be honest with you tonight, we don't get scared doing what we're doing, because if we did, we wouldn't do it, you know.
Yeah.
But there was a night in Lacking Castle where we went looking for the puka, and Richard captured an amazing image of the puka, and he had actually two photographs, where before and after, where it wasn't there, and then it appeared and it was there.
now.
So I put you over to Richard there now.
Now, that picture's going to be shown on Spooked Ireland on Friday night. You know,
Okay.
so that just to let you know, that's out in Spooked Ireland. So that's going to be coming across now on Friday night. Now, that was an image that clear as day. You can see before and after, and you can clear it.
So to describe the puka to people, the puka is kind of half cat, half rabbit.
Well,
Is that what I'm trying to do?
Niall, I was going to say to you before. Listen, I was going to say to you now. You have the computer beside you. Google puka captured in Ireland. Google captured Lacking Castle.
Okay. Puka.
PUCA, yeah, captured Lacking Castle. Now look at that image. Everyone could see this. Now this was before.
What's the name of the castle again?
Lacking, Lackeen, Lacking Castle.
Okay. All right. I'm googling it now. Okay. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at one here where you can see. Let me see. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, behind bars.
Behind bars.
yeah. It's got
Right.
it does look like a werewolf or something, all right. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to say to you. That's why I said, now I'll quickly Google, because this is exactly what I was going to try to tell you. The puka is mostly seen as being a dog, or it can be. It's a shapeshifter. That's what it is. But it's mainly noticed as a dog. And again, getting back to the folklore, King Castle is supposedly, this is what it says in Irish folklore, that it's the home of the puka. So again, we're investigators, and we want to go down and see if we can capture this so-called puka.
Puka.
Capture the puka.
Oh wait. Hey lads, I tell you what, you'd be very rich if you capture the puka.
Well, but you see, what interested was the old.
Take your eyes off of me there, you know.
Anthony, Niall. Basically, what it is that the owner at the time, Kennedy clan, actually captured the puka himself. But the puka promised him, this is in folklore, promised him that if you let me go, that everything will be all right, or I won't cause any problems. And so basically, he let him go. That's to cut a long story short.
Okay.
But that's what, again, that got our attention. We went down, and I have the before. See, it's funny, they have that picture up, but they don't show you the before picture, because it's the same angle, everything. This little thing appears on the corner of the outer side of the bars. You can't make that up now. That's pure and
okay,
genuine.
lads, I don't have a huge amount of time, but just very quickly, can I ask one of you? The traditional ones that we're aware of, the Banshee, the White Lady.
No,
Yeah.
no, the White Lady, there's too many of them. I don't know what.
I don't know where the White Lady. When I remember when I was a Cub Scout, we were bought on a tour somewhere up to Glendalough to see the Banshee, or to hear the Banshee and see the White Lady.
No.
Never happened. But I mean, do they exist?
Up by St. Kevin's bed, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's where it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, does the Banshee exist, do you think? Is there such thing as the Banshee?
I think, yeah, we think it does,
But not on that level.
but I don't know. Is it in the mythicals, or we said
does
the
the
Hollywood
myth
version of it?
Yeah, does the myth not just come from the fact that foxes make very strange sounds?
No, it's different now.
It could. I know foxes make a screeching noise as well. That could be a banshee. I mean, we've often been out in investigations and we've heard foxes screech, and we'd go, what was that? Is it a fox or is it the banshee? But I understand what you're saying. We do understand now what you're saying. But like, we haven't captured any images really. We captured a picture down we captured a picture in Duckett's Grove under a bridge, which we assumed was the banshee, because the banshee is the Duckett's Grove is supposed to be the home of the banshee. So we did capture an image of an old woman with wavy hair and that, you know.
Yeah.
So then we would just say, okay, that's the banshee, you know. But
that's some building, by the way, Duckett's Grove. Actually, we must. That's a mental note. We must do a show from there. Actually, that's Duckett's Grove. For people who don't know, it's out in County Carlow, and it's a wonderful looking place. But listen, lads, it's been really intriguing talking to you, and I know you have lots of information and pictures you'd like to share with people. If people want more information or they want to contact you, if they feel they have a haunting going on in their house and they want to do something about it, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Just you can message us on PSIIreland.com, the webpage, or the Facebook page, Paranormal Supernatural Investigations Ireland.
Okay, so PSIIreland.com.
Oh. Yeah, PSIIreland.com is the website. Paranormal Supernatural Investigations Ireland is the Facebook page. You can get us on them.
Okay. Listen, lads, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Yes,
would you be interested in coming out with us sometime now?
Yeah, I sure would. I think it'd be very interesting, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll bring the microphone and everything.
Too, yeah. Give us.
We may set up. We may set up. I know it's a bit late now for this year, obviously, but maybe we could do a live show next year from Duckett's Grove or somewhere.
Yeah, that would be super. Yeah.
And you guys could come along and do all your bit live on the air as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
That'll be something we'd look forward to now.
Okay, we shall do that. We'll sort out something. In the meantime, I'll talk to you before then, lads. It's been really interesting talking to you. Richard and Anthony, listen, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Say bye. There you go. Richard and Anthony from Paranormal Supernatural Investigations, PSIIreland.com. If you want more information, you can go there. If you think you have a haunting or you want something that they can investigate, if that's the kind of stuff you believe in. You just don't know, do you? You know what I mean? It's good fun apart from anything else. It's not always fun, I suppose, if it scares the living Jesus out of you.